Roblox 2025 was supposed to be the golden age. Well, that's not happening. It's nearly the end of the year, and we've seen almost nothing unique that actually sticks around more than 2 weeks. Most new releases feel rushed, predictable, or just trash, that also has pairing. But if you've been around long enough, you know the games we've been waiting years for. Games promising massive, immersive worlds, crazy mechanics, and stories that could actually stick with us. Today, we're counting down the top 10 Roblox anime games that aren't releasing in 2025. Some of these you've heard of, some will make you wonder how they're still in development after almost a decade, and trust me, as we move down the list, it only gets more shocking. You'll see just how hopeless Roblox has become. And in case I'm wrong, and at least 3 of these games release before the year ends, I don't know, I'll show my feet. That's how confident I am, none of these games will release. Alright, I'm gonna give you time to guess what the first game is while you subscribe and like the video. It's a Demon Slayer game, and many people are hyped about it because of its very unique combat that might low-key be the best one we've seen on the whole Roblox. It's Yaiba. Now this game, I actually think is gonna be one of the better ones when it comes out. But let's be real, it ain't coming out this year. Even when Roblox devs say their game is coming out in a specific time frame, I'm really inclined to believe there's a cap. Let's just be real. How many times have Roblox devs of very hyped upcoming Roblox anime games straight up lied about the release date? And I'm not talking in terms of weeks or even months. I'm talking multiple years. If a game was previously delayed for multiple years, why would we believe it's coming out in the next 3 to 4 months when that's been the case for years?
Just 3 more months, guys.
This game, on the other hand, the devs suddenly stopped communicating about it to us, which means they're either locked in, making the game in silence, or they're just not working on it at all. The second was more likely, let's be real. A big part of the anime community has been aware of Yaiba for a few years now. It's been known as a Demon Slayer game that honestly will leave an impact on Roblox, because we've never seen combat that looks this fun before. Thankfully, this doesn't look like a deep broken copy like many games we're annoyed of, and it's got pairing too. I honestly messed with the graphics and the game's overall vibe. Although, I wish the game would have released when the new Demon Slayer movie came out, because that would have been fire. The game, no joke, would have gotten Project Slayer's number of players, or even more. And mind you, Project Slayers still has 5k players, even though the game has been dead for multiple years now, without getting a single update. Sadly, this game, there's just no chance it's coming out this year. I'm sorry to break the news. The devs have not been telling us anything about the game for a long time, and even if they did, and said it's coming out this year, I would still be skeptical. Now, this game was one of the more obvious games we know aren't gonna be coming out anytime soon, but as the video goes on, you'll see the games both you and I were really hyped about and excited to play. I'll just have to say, some are more likely to release than others. Unlike Yaiba, the next game on this list is a lot more likely to release this year, and it actually does make sense that it does release this year. But let me remind you, we're talking about Roblox developers here, so be ready for a chance of this game not coming out this year either. This is a Naruto-inspired game called Kaizen 2, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks good. It has a massive map, a lot of jutsus, like in Naruto, and Jinchuriki transformations. We haven't really gotten Naruto games recently at all. The biggest and latest one has been Shin the Life, and even though that's a good game, it's really old. Kaizen 2 is not a parry-based game apparently, but it's based around substitution jutsus and blocking, I guess. So we know it's not a deep broken copy right off the bat. One of my favorite things about the game is the massive transformations, although I don't know how that works in a real fight against others. The game's graphics are also very nice. You can obviously see it's inspired by Naruto with these cities. However, I personally do not think this game will release this year at all. I mean, it might, I wanna be proven wrong, but it's Roblox we're talking about here. They've been dragging this game for months. It was supposed to release around spring break this year, but here we are in September. This game is technically close to release, because after close testing, obviously comes release, but still, we never know when it comes to Roblox. I'm sad to say this. I genuinely would not be surprised if at least one of these games on the list doesn't release even next year, but in 2027 or 2028. It's honestly a decent game from what I can see from these clips, but it's definitely not gonna be my favorite game. It doesn't look anything special compared to some of the other games on the list, like Yaiba for example. I'm a little glad that Naruto is coming back to Roblox, because not gonna lie, it is an interesting concept with all the jutsus and a lot of lore. But the next game on this list is based on a whole different anime, Hunter x Hunter. We have, not gonna lie, never seen a Hunter x Hunter game on Roblox that was actually half decent. The only Hunter x Hunter game I remember is that one Benny Beer wore some even block swords. The game was as Hunter x Hunter as Jujutsu Infinite was Jujutsu Infinite, but this game is a Hunter x Hunter game, and not just that, it's very special because we've waited many years for its release. It's probably one of the games that have been in development the longest. However, this game dropped a movie a while back, maybe 3 to 4 months ago, and in that movie, they said the game's releasing this July. It seemed a little odd that the game was coming out after many years in such a quick time, and guess what? It just did not come out. Now, they did say things came up, but still, it happens a little way too often. The owner and everyone is still preaching that the game is coming out this year and is hyping it up. But let's be completely real, even though it is reasonable to think it's coming out this year, trust me, something very rare will pop out, which is apparently gonna delay the game again. Trust me, this has happened a million and one times. not just with this game, but with many others. So what's stopping it from happening again and delaying the game for who knows what reason, whether it's DMCA or something even made up. We just can't trust when they say the game is coming out then and then, when they've got a known history of delaying games. The game I do think is good though. Since it's based on Hunter x Hunter, you could assume it has a Hunter exam with multiple stages, which gets your Hunter license, which is cool. I honestly like the combat, it looks good, and the game overall is very interesting. I don't doubt it being good. The next game on this list is a whole movie. I don't know what else to say. I'm not even gonna lie. Project Slayers 2. There ain't no way it's releasing this year, or maybe even next, who knows. Remember Project Slayers? That Demon Slayer game from like 2 or 3 years ago that everyone used to play. It was a really fun game at the time for me. They always had terrible update schedules. It was like a year per update, which is insane. It's worse than Bloxroot's even. Until the owner just quit updating the game entirely. Apparently, it was because the game was disorganized and hard to update. But I don't know if I believe that, because if I had a game that massive, I honestly would not care if it was hard to update. The game even now has 5k average players. I genuinely do not know why. Project Slayers 2 is on the way. Well, it's been like for 2 or 3 years. I'm not even gonna lie. My biggest problem with the game was they look way too similar to the normal Project Slayers, and also that the owner was the worst when it came to actually giving us updates on the game. I'm talking any updates at all. Like literally, we would wait 6 months for one 5-minute video showcasing a blood art on a base plate. Like bro, there's a chance that the game might actually be good, but no one can be hyped about it when there's no actual news, no nothing. No one even knows when it's releasing. The game though looks decent in my opinion. Nothing too special, definitely not my favorite upcoming Demon Slayer game. It's probably not gonna be too much better than a Banning Beer, let's be real, because what worked in 2022 with Project Slayers will definitely not work in 2025, or most likely 2026 or 2027 with Project Slayers 2. The player base has changed, moved on to higher quality games. Actually never mind, they're playing Pupa Brainer probably. But overall, this was one of the games we pretty much all knew was not gonna come out this year. The funny thing is, I low-key remember this time last year talking about Project Slayers or Yaiba coming out around New Year's this year, which is crazy. Well, I hate to break it to you, it's about to be New Year's again, and ain't none of these games come out. I said the same thing for Rell Seas, and well, I say it again for summer, and now we're back. Full circle guys. That's why I now got zero trust when any of the developers say their game's coming out. Demon Slayer, although some would say is a little simple and generic, is probably still one of your favorite animes. There's just no reason to hate on it. The animation's insane, the fights, the backstories of characters, there's no reason to hate on it. Well, there's also gonna be a Roblox Demon Slayer game that kinda follows the Demon Slayer qualities. This is Hinokami. The graphics of this game are genuinely insane. In my opinion, this might be the best graphics we have ever seen on Roblox. I actually mess with this style. Now, this might actually be my favorite upcoming Demon Slayer game, and you might be asking, why isn't it Yaiba? And it's because with Yaiba, we don't even know if it's in development. We didn't hear from the devs in a year for no reason. Well, when it comes to Hinokami, they also said they're working in silence, because if you don't know, these two games beefed, like if they're Kaizen and XQC, because apparently they were copying each other. Hinokami, on the other hand, actually made something like a movie recently, so we actually know the game's still getting worked on and that they care about their community. Not too much though, it's quite rare to hear from them, but still, we at least know the game is coming, in the future, we don't know when. However, with this game, we would all assume it's releasing this year for sure, and I would agree with that if I woke up today and decided to spread positivity. But I didn't. So I'm gonna say this game is definitely not coming out this year, like all of the games on this list. I bet the devs are gonna be silent about the game, and every month or two, they're gonna say progress is going great, without even mentioning the release probably. And little do you know, it's already gonna be March of next year without this game. It's much easier to imagine it like that, than us actually playing this game. Now, some of the games I've already talked about on this list are more likely to release than others, like Beyond End and Kaizen 2. But still, even if those two games release, I guarantee you, these other games I've mentioned for sure won't. And we're not even entirely sure about these two either, even though they're preaching a very soon release, because we just never know with these developers. That's what we've come to. The next game on this list is quite interesting, I would call it. It's a One Piece game, and I would assume One Piece is one of your favorite animes too, because everyone's hyped about Rell Seas and all that. But we just never got any actually good One Piece games in 2024 or 2025. All we ever had was Bloxroot, GPO, King Legacy. Now, even if you like any of those three games, it's been years since they've been in their prime, and it just doesn't hit the same. We're all just waiting for Rell Seas at this point. However, Rell Seas is not the only One Piece upcoming Roblox game. We also got 4 Blues. Now let's be real, I don't think this game is nowhere near Rell Seas, but still, it's still looking to be an interesting game overall. We haven't really seen too much of the game except its combat, which honestly seems decent, it's not bad. And we've seen some of the maps and islands. But what we haven't seen, and why I would say this game is nowhere close to Rell Seas, is progression. Because imagine this, how many games in the recent past have we gotten with decently good combat that just has the worst of the worst progression or mid progression? Let me just say, it's many games, Type Soul and many more. Rell Seas on the other hand, we're assured that the progression will be top tier from the start. Honestly, I am a little hyped about this game, not too much, I'm not glazing this game, but the reason why I think it's not gonna release this year is honestly quite similar to all of the other games on this list. Simply, it's just taking too much time. Roblox developers are not to be trusted, let's be real. I think it was supposed to come out open testing this summer and then full release a little later, but here we are. I don't think any of that's happened. Remember that game called Arise? That solo leveling game that's made by that guy overhyping it up on Instagram. Well, I'm pretty sure that was supposed to come out earlier this year. If I remember correctly, they said something like open testing at the end of April. Well, I'm sorry to break the news, but they're like 6 months late. It's not just this game, it's become the culture. Although I'm not gonna say this game isn't coming out this year definitely. I don't know, it might, but I just don't trust any games no more. And this game, very likely, do not come out this year in my opinion. Alright, the next game, I'm sure a lot of y'all know about. It's Holy War X. And I wanna be real, there ain't no way on earth this game is coming out this year. First of all, there's levels to this. The first level is they say the release of the game and they end up not releasing it when they said they will. Level 2 is they say the release and do actually release the game. But this game, we gotta go a lot lower than that. The release of this game was not even out. And by release, I don't mean exact day or month. I just mean a year. Because let's be real, the game ain't just coming out randomly on a Tuesday. Now I have to say Holy War X is still one of my favorite upcoming Roblox games, if not the favorite. The game just looks insane from all the movies we've seen. There's so much detail, the combat, the PvE, the graphics, it's probably one of the best games. It's honestly on par with Rell Seas. However, I don't care who you are, you're not convincing me this game is coming out this year. Alfrex, the owner of the game, I'm pretty sure he said he wants to release multiple movies before even releasing the release date, which is fine. But the thing is, 6 months flow by way too easily without anything at all. Now let me explain this game to those of you who don't know. Do you remember the anime 7 Deadly Sins? Yes, that one that gets weird at times. Actually not at times, a little too often. Well, this is a 7 Deadly Sins inspired game, which is actually very interesting, because we've never gotten a real 7 Deadly Sins game on Roblox. It's kinda similar to Sword Art Online situation on Roblox, which is there just being no quality and interesting games. This was one of those games that we kinda knew for sure were not coming out this year. But I am not hating on it, it's still one of my favorite games. Like the next game on this list, I know some will get mad when I say there's a chance these games aren't releasing this year. But hear me out. Rell Seas. You probably know Rell Seas. I've made countless videos on the game before. It's easily one of the most anticipated upcoming Roblox One Piece games. We've known about it for a long time. There's people who heard about this game in middle school and have graduated high school without even playing Rell Seas at all. I'm not even capping. It's actually the most anticipated Roblox game. You might be wondering why. Well, it's because this game is so much different than what we've been getting on Roblox for honestly the entire history of Roblox. We've always been getting more games that are there to just earn money than to actually be there to last. We've always been getting banning beers, and with years, you might think it automatically got better. Well, no really. Now we got Pupa Brainroar and games like that, pulling a generational amount of players. Rell Seas is as high quality as Holy War X. It's got a massive world, underwater, on land, in the sky, way too many cities and places. It's got hockey, Delfruits, a lot of really interesting bosses, ships, submarines, NPCs, they're actually living. It's just overall an immersive world. It's not a Benny Beer, it's not similar, it's an actual real game. Everyone has been hyped about this game for a long time, and when we learned that it's been delayed since last year December, we hoped they would release in summer. But as you know, we're nearing winter 2025, so technically, it's almost been a full circle since the game's been delayed from its definite release. And honestly, yes, they did say the game is still in development and testing is going really well, but still, there is a chance, I'm not saying definitely, but there's a chance this game does not come out this year. We just never know. I honestly hope it does release this year, and if it does, it's probably gonna release at the end of December, so I guess it wouldn't be that bad if they released it at the start of January. But the game just needs to come out at this point. It's become a myth. People are gonna start thinking Rell Seas is AI. Overall, I have mentioned many Roblox games. However, this video, believe it or not, is not top 10 upcoming games this year. It's games that are not releasing this year. Roblox developers are just a different story when it comes to releasing games, and it's all of them. It's become a culture at this point. Now, some games on this list are more likely to release than others, but overall, the maximum amount of games on this list they will actually release this year for sure is 1 or 2 at most. So if I was really wrong and 3 games release, I don't know. Tell me in the comments what I should do. And also make sure you subscribe and like the video, and tell me in the comments if you like this format of videos. They are a little longer, a little more of me yapping,